Okay, good days, learners. And how are you today? My name is Mr. Adesanmi. Today, I'll be your economic facilitator. Now, this video you're watching is the second series on the topic I treated earlier, which is the development of the petroleum sector in Nigeria. If you have not seen that video, I would advise you to um, go to my YouTube page and watch that video. I've talked on the history of the oil exploration in Nigeria. There on that video, just for a quick revision, I talked on the other name for petroleum, which is called black gold. Black gold. And I laid emphasis on why it is called black gold because one, the color of the crude oil, and number two, because of the commercial value of the product in question. Uh, and also, we made mention of some facts about Nigeria because even in this video, I'll be using Nigeria as a case study. That presently, Nigeria is the largest oil and gas producer in Africa and the 11th largest oil producer in the world. And of course, we have countries like China producing oil. At least they rank from 1 to 10. We have US, we have Russia, we have Saudi Arabia, we have Iran, Iraq, we have Kuwait, we have Venezuela. These countries I've just mentioned rank from number 1 to number 10. So on that video, we talked extensively about how oil was discovered in Nigeria in a place called Oloibiri. Presently, that place is called Bayelsa State. So it was discovered by Shell British Petroleum, Shell British Petroleum. So as I've said, you can watch that video. You can go to my YouTube page and watch that. At least you will gain more on what I've talked about on that topic. So today, as you can see on the screen, we'll be looking at the impact of petroleum on the Nigerian economy. The impact of petroleum on the Nigerian economy. As you can see on the screen, we have crude oil there, which is also called black gold. Before the discovery of this crude oil, the oil of whale and the fat of animal was used as a means to lubricate and power our machines in the industrial age. In the industrial age, but now we have petroleum, which almost every nation of the world have this, and they are using it to power their products or their machines. But we can't overemphasize the impact of the discovery on the world economy. It has positive impact, it has negative impact. For some, they believe this product is a cost to, now coming back to Nigeria, that's a case study, it's a cost to Nigeria. They believe the disadvantages of this product outweighs the advantages. For some economics in Nigeria, they will argue that we're doing fine before the discovery of oil in Nigeria in 1958. The country was doing fine. At least agriculture was a mainstay then, and we had at least not much, but compared to what we have now, compared to the economic development we have now, it's nothing to write home about. But then the all the regions of Nigeria have what they are good at, and that's what they were using to promote and develop each of the region in Nigeria. A good example is the southern part of this country, as the Igbos. They are known for palm oil, and that's what they produce in large quantity and export. The Yorubas are known for cocoa, and that's what we produce and export. Even then, Awolowo used a lot of money from this cocoa to build universities, to build roads, infrastructures in Nigeria. Why the northern part of the country was known for, apart from sugarcane, granite, cotton, and a lot of cash crop. So there are some economists believe that we as a country were doing well before the discovery of this product. That immediately this product was discovered in Nigeria, it leads to a lot of problem from corruption down to increase in crime rate, down to kidnapping. They believe that petroleum is the main factor fueling corruption, and it has really affected the moral value of our country. So, but I don't know your point if you agree with them or not. But in course of going through this video, I would like to get your opinion if you agree with this economist that believe that petroleum is a cost to Nigeria as a nation. So let's look at some of the positive contribution of this product to the Nigerian economy. Now, so within the period, oil has created a lot of fortune to the Nigerian economy. We kind of emphasize that we have really gotten a lot of money from oil, a lot of money from oil, down from the discovery even down to this moment. I remember in the 70s, Nigeria was in money to the extent that we're paying salaries of teachers in Mali. We even held a festival to promote um, idol worshiping in Nigeria then. It is called Festac, where you see different nations of the world coming with their gods to Nigeria because we have money then. And I remember then our president came then and said, Nigeria have money, but we don't know what to use the money for. So we kind of emphasize the importance of or the positive contribution of this substance to the Nigerian economy. It has really helped our economy. And other countries of the world also have it, and they are doing fine. But in Nigeria is a separate case study. Why? Because of some of the disadvantages we are seeing as regards to this petroleum sector. So let's look at some of the positive advantages of this product to the Nigerian economy. Number one, it serves as a source of government revenue. Serve as a source of government revenue. Even up to now, it's one of the major source of revenue for the government. Between 1970 and 1984, it contributed to about 70% of government revenue. In 1970, before that was before Nigeria joined OPEC, uh, there was a form of war between Israel and Arab. And the Arabian nation, when we talk about the nation that Israel was fighting with, uh, I think is Iraq or Iran, one of the two countries. And that led to a shortage of oil supply in the world. And take note, once the supply of oil is down and the demand is high, the price of oil will go up. So in the 70s, the price of oil quadrupled. It went times four up. And countries that were able to meet up with the demand were in money, serious money. Money was coming in. So during that time, the Nigerian government were able to get enough money. Now, from the picture you can even see on the slide, um, as at 2018, Nigerian earned $32.6 billion from oil and gas. So it has really been a source of revenue for the Nigeria government, a source of revenue. Number two, a source of foreign exchange earnings for the Nigerian government as well. Uh, After the discovery of oil, the agricultural sector itself was neglected and were exploring and exporting this black gold to other nations of the world that need them. And we're getting a lot of um, currency, foreign currency from that. And our foreign exchange earnings from that alone went to about 80%. 80%. So, which is very, very high, especially when the price of oil went up to about over $100, $100. But sometimes when we experience oil glut in the international market, you see that the price of oil goes down. It also affect our foreign exchange earnings. But you agree with me with the signs we are seeing all over that oil itself has really helped the Nigerian economy. even till now, is still contributing a large percentage to the Nigerian Federation account. So the diagram you can see there is a pie chart showing the oil sector and the non-oil sector. Of course, the oil sector alone contributes 39% to the tax revenue of the country, while the non-oil sector is taking 61%. Talking about the other sector, manufacturing sector, service sector, agricultural sector, altogether, all those other sector, aviation sector, service sector, altogether takes about 69%. But the petroleum sector alone is contributing 39% tax to the Nigerian economy. Now, when we go to our GDP, the oil sector takes 9% of our GDP, which is huge, just the oil sector alone, which is huge. So you agree with me that the oil sector has really contributed to the Nigerian economy. Three is a source of employment. A source of employment. The petroleum industry has aided the generation of employment opportunities into various categories. We have the petroleum engineers, we have the chemical engineers, a lot of them working in the petroleum sector. So it has really served as a form of source of employment for the Nigerian youths that are looking for job. But let me add this to it, that when we talk about employment opportunity, comparing the oil sector to agricultural sector, the agricultural sector here has a tendency of employing 60 to 70% of the population of the country compared to the petroleum sector. Why? Because the petroleum sector is more of capital intensive uh, than the agricultural sector. The agricultural sector can even be made more labor intensive to employ more population. But there's no way you can make the petroleum sector labor intensive. It's capital intensive, and much capital is needed. And that's why I said it has a low capacity to employ the population of the country compared to the agricultural sector. Apart from that, this sector engages skilled labor, more of skilled labor, which Nigeria is lacking. That is why a lot of people that are working in this sector are expatriate from other nations of the world, are brought in as engineers, as chemical engineers, petroleum engineers to work in this industry. So, as a country, we don't have enough manpower, enough skilled manpower, the experience to work effectively. We're short of them. That's why you see companies like Shell, companies like Texaco, the seven sisters that are working in Nigeria, prefer to bring in their workers from their own country because of the wealth of experience these workers have gathered. So, but nevertheless, it still serves as a source of employment for the Nigerian economy. The fourth one is the money gotten from this sector have been used to develop the infrastructural deficit in Nigeria, because currently Nigeria is facing infrastructural deficit even with the discovery of oil. But with the help of oil, it has really helped to develop the infrastructural facilities in Nigeria, such as electricity, water supply, telecommunication, our dams, stadium, airports, giant buildings, and name them. The money gotten from this has really helped in developing social amenities to provide good quality life to the citizens of Nigeria. The fifth one, it provides internal energy requirements. Of course, the petroleum sector has helped to provide internal energy that the for domestic consumption. Talking about gasoline, fuel, oil, kerosene, cooking gas, uh, fuel for industrial and domestic purpose, uh, has has been supplied by this sector. Not only that, with the discovery of this uh, petroleum product, we have a lot of petrochemical industry in Nigeria now, which are also contributing to the sector. So this product we're talking about has provided internal energy source for the Nigerian economy. So there's nothing that has a good side that does not have a bad side. Um, The petroleum sector has its own ugly side. The picture I'm about to show you is the picture of an aquatic um, habitat being destroyed by oil spillage. As you can see uh, on your screen, this is a fish being destroyed as a result of oil spillage by Shell company, by Shell company. So this has been happening all over the world, not only in Nigeria, all over the world. Even we have some in US and others. So it has this spillage has really destroyed a lot of animals, aquatic animals. So let's look at the negative contribution of the petroleum sector to the Nigerian economy. Now, the adverse effect of this petroleum sector has affected every aspect of human's life. That's really affected the economy of the country. The oil and drilling and gas drilling have seriously affected communities. When you go to Niger Delta area, you see how their land is over there. Their land and their rivers, which serve as a form of livelihood, has been destroyed by the activities of these seven sisters. Drilling projects, operation around the clock has disrupted wildlife, water source, human health, recreation activities, and even public land has been destroyed by these products. And the funniest thing is this: these oil companies in Nigeria are not taking responsibility for their action. The South South, I made mention of this in my last video, has about in total we have about 154 oil wells in Nigeria, and about 78 of them are in the South South. So they are the one that is contributing more. But the level of development in that area is nothing to write home about. And government is not even helping. The Seven Sisters has really destroyed uh, the lands and the river in that particular area and has affected their means of livelihood. So let's look at some of the negative effects of this product in Nigeria. Number one, the discovery of oil in Nigeria has led us to the abandonment of agriculture. Agriculture, as I've said earlier, is capable of employing more than 80% of the active population of the country. And with that, we can export 80 we can get our foreign exchange earnings about 85% from agriculture. But immediately we discovered oil in Oloibiri, um, agricultural sector was neglected. Yeah, a lot of reasons behind that. A lot of reasons behind the neglect of agricultural sector, and one being that oil was in high demand then, and countries of the world, especially developed nations of the world, because they were the one that were highly industrialized then. They need the oil more than we. They are ready to pay for it, and they have the technology to exploit it. And apart from that, the money that comes from oil is huge and fast. So nothing on the part of the government, apart from the regulation, it does not take anything from them compared to agriculture, because agriculture is work. You have to wait for some months or years before you can even harvest the crop that you've planted. Unlike oil, once oil is discovered, before even they come to your country to start exploring, they get license, and that's money for the government. And while they are exploring, they employ people. That's money for the government. And once the oil is discovered, they enter into contract with the government, and that's money. And they are the one that will do the developed nation. The Seven Sisters are what I will do almost all the job, and the government are just to relax and be getting their own um, portion of the national cake as agreed in the contract. So they are not really doing anything, and that is why they fell for that trap and left the agricultural sector behind. So what they were doing is this: money gotten from oil was used to import food into the country. So we export crude, we import petroleum, and then we import food, which has not really favored the country, because importation is a form of linkage, while exportation is an injection. So if you import more and export less, you'll be having what we call deficit balance of payment, which is not good for your economy. And that's what Nigeria is experiencing even as at now. But thank God for the present President Buhari. He's doing a lot through the CBN to revive the agricultural sector. Okay, but take note of this. One of the disadvantages of the petroleum sector is this: that it has led to the neglect of the agricultural sector and has also led us to increase in importation of food item into the country. Two, environmental pollution. The activities of these seven sisters has led to a lot of pollutions. As you can see in the picture, this is an oil spillage, and this will destroy a lot of aquatic life. This is caused by shell. This is another one in Baisa area of Nigeria. You can see the land meant for agriculture, and even the rivers there is being polluted by activities of these seven sisters. So anywhere there is oil exploration, it's caused environmental pollution, be it land, air, water. And this is happening in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. So all these are some of the negative effects of petroleum sector. Now, the map you are seeing is the world worst oil disasters. I remember I watched a film on this. I don't know if you have watched that as well. The Deepwater Rising is a fine film. You can try to watch it. It happened on an oil ring, and there was a big explosion and a big oil spillage, which affected aquatic animal. But one of the other biggest is the Gulf oil spillage in 1991. About 1,360,000 watts of tons of goods was spilled out in the Atlantic Ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, and it affected life, aquatic life there, and that's why a lot of economics, even in Nigeria, believe that oil is a cost than a blessing to the Nigerian economy. This is um, fish killed during an oil spillage by the British company. So you can see this is a wastage, a big wastage to the aquatic life. So this is happening frequently, even in Nigeria here, where monitoring is and control of the activities of these seven sisters is bastardized by corruption. By corruption, they are not monitored again, and they are really causing havoc in Nigeria. So another disadvantage is health effect. Health effect. So I can see the effect of pollution on the skin of people living around that area. It causes skin and eyes irritation. It causes breathing problem, smoke everywhere, stress, especially in the Niger Delta area. You can try googling this. Go to Google and type in, watch videos on this, especially in the Niger Delta area. There have been complaints and agitation of the people living in that area concerning the activities of this seven sister. But the government of the country, because of the level of corruption, are not really doing anything about it. The next is high rate of inflation, especially during oil boom. Whenever there is oil boom, there will be increase in inflow of money into the economy. And once that happens, there will be too much money in circulation, which can lead to inflation. Remember that when there is oil boom, government spending will increase, which will also affect private spending. And then if that happens, it can lead to inflation. And once there's inflation, the value of your currency decrease. That's what you can see in the picture. The rat there eating money. So you agree with me with that whatever rat eats at home reduces the value of that item. So if rat eats the goods you want to sell, you either dispose it or reduce the value. So we can time inflation as a rat that eats away the value of money. So if inflation is too high in a country, it kills the value of that currency. So sometimes the oil boom in a country can lead to inflation. We also have what we call oil glut. Oil glut. When there's oil glut, it shows that the supply of oil, as you can see, is more than the demand. So there's oversupply of oil. And when there's oversupply of oil and the demand is low, the price of such product will go down. And if that happens, it affects the economic stability of that country. A good example is Nigeria, where we over depend on oil. And because we are a country that depends solely on oil, sometimes you don't have the shock absorber. Any external shock from the international oil market affects our country, affects our economy, leads to economic instability, which is not that good for our country because we are a mono economy. We over rely on crude oil to survive. So, like the oil glut that we experienced in 1981, even the one that we're experiencing now presently in 2020 because of coronavirus, has really affected our economy. But we hope that before the end of this month and this year, the price of crude oil will go back up because presently now the price of crude oil is about 45 naira. It was as low as $20. It was as low as $20 this year, but now it is $45, which is still good for our economy. Okay, which is good for our economy. So take note, we have what we call oil boom and oil glut. I mentioned this and I did a video on this in the first series, so you can go to the first series and check it out. So let's look at some of the problem facing this oil industry. Some of the problem facing this oil industry. The first one is vandalization of oil pipes. Remember that oil is liquid, so it has been moved by pipe. Some pipes are laid on top of the topmost soil like this, while some are laid underneath. But the activities of uh, uh, illegal oil tappers, especially in Nigeria, will come and vandalize the pipes, which sometimes leads to fire explosion, will kill a lot of people. It has happened a lot even in Lagos here, Abulegba area, and in other parts of Nigeria. So this is one of the challenges the oil sector is facing. Illegal tapping of crude oil and oil products from the pipeline. It is called vandalization. And Nigeria has lose a lot of money from the activities of these vandals. It has really affected the GDP of the country. And not only that, it has anywhere this happens, it destroys the aquatic life in that environment. Sometimes it destroys properties of people, even lives of individuals might be lost as a result of the activities of these vandals. So it's very important that the government of the country do something about this. The second problem is frequent breakdown of our refineries. This refinery in Warri refinery. Some of these refineries are as old as Nigeria, as old as Nigeria. Some of them have gone through maintenance, turnaround maintenance, just to make them functioning. But even with the four refineries we have presently in Nigeria, the their total output is not up to 20% of what of the demand we have in Nigeria, and that's why you see that we do import petroleum from other nations of the world to supplement the shortage of the refineries here in Nigeria. So this is a modern refinery which will start operation very soon. Dangote refinery, at least if not for coronavirus, would have been seeing some level of operation there this year, but because of coronavirus, probably next year or next 2 years will be functioning. That's Dangote refinery. The third problem of this sector, petroleum industry, is the political unrest and hostile attitude of the oil communities. Yes, I don't know if you have heard of the Baisa boys. Uh, initially they were fighting for their rights, but it led to kidnapping and some other social vices. So they were fighting for their right. That the activities of the Seven Sisters in their environment is polluting their environment, and the government is not even bringing any form of development to their communities. They are the one producing this oil, and they are the most poorest set of community in Nigeria. So they took arms and they began to fight for their right, kidnapping oil expatriates and doing a lot of other havoc to stop the exploration of oil in their communities. And later on, the government had them, and there was a form of amnesty, form of agreement, where the government listened to their agitation and they dropped arms. But not only the Baisa boys now. A lot of activities have come on board because of the oil exploration in communities. Um, it has also encouraged kidnapping. This is Evans. This is Shakarau, the Boko Haram leader, and this is Henry. So we have all heard of these three individuals and the havoc they've wreaked on communities in Nigeria. So they are directly or indirectly connected to the oil industry because it's all in money, and because of the level of poverty in the country, corruption in the country, uh, politicians want to go to the government office to embezzle money and not develop their environment. So this has really has led to a lot of social vices in the country, Nigeria. Another problem is mismanagement and corruption. Mismanagement and corruption. The military ruled us for about 30 years, and they also looted us. Now, over 19 years now, the civilian are ruling us, and they are also looting, massive looting of the public fund. This is another problem. And the fund they are looting is from oil, because agriculture cannot give money the way oil is giving money. It can't, because oil give money fast. And because of this money they are seeing, they are going into politics and they are looting. And it's really affecting the social economic development of the Nigerian economy. Another is inadequate indigenous skilled manpower, which I've said. Remember that we have three classes of labor. We have skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. Now, your petroleum industry need more of the semi-skilled and the skilled labor, more of the skilled labor. But Nigeria is a country that is developing. It's a less or third world country. So the level of skilled labor that have the skill and the experience to work in the oil industry, they are not much. So there's always shortage of indigenous skilled manpower, and that has led to the importation of manpower from other nations of the world. So I want you to try this assignment. Try this assignment and make more research yourself on this, on the positive and negative effect of oil in Nigeria. Thank you very much.